Chapter 5, the most important thing is the words that we speak. Now, I learned a mindset hack. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. About 5 or 6 years ago, that's had the biggest impact on my life. You can master it in 5 minutes or less. I'm going to teach it to you in 5 minutes or less. You can apply it tomorrow. You can teach it to your kids in 5 minutes or less. Now, if I would have told you what I'm about to tell you, if they told it to me 10 years ago, I would have said, hokey, ridiculous, no way. But I'm telling you, nothing's had a bigger impact on my children, my employees, myself, than what I'm going to share with you right now. So a couple of years ago, I'm training for that race I just talked about called the Last Man Standing. I've done it before. Here's the format of the race. It's a 4.2-mile loop. You have an hour to do it. You got to run it. If you finish the loop in 50 minutes, you get a 10-minute break. They line you up again at the top of the hour to do the 4.2-mile loop again. They repeat that over and over until one person's left standing, the last man standing. The race can go on for days. During my training, I did 10 training runs of 38 miles. Every time I got to 38 miles, I stopped. I'm like, that's my limit. Not bad for a guy that's going to be 55 years old, but 38 miles isn't going to get you very far in a race like this. And then I heard on a podcast, I heard about this guy, Chad Wright, the guy I just talked about. This Navy SEAL talking about how he took a guy that had only run 5 miles in his longest run in his life to the finish line of a 100-mile race by having him repeat the words, I will not quit, I will not quit, I will not quit. I'm like, that's impossible. Been running my whole life, man. You can't 20x your longest run. It's impossible. But this guy's a Navy SEAL on a highly reputable podcast. I doubt he's lying, so I cold call him. I tell him my problem. He says, brother, I could solve that for you in 2 days, man. See, Chad is this guy from the deep woods of North Georgia. He's got a beard down to here like he's in ZZ Top. He's covered in tattoos with a look in his eye like he's seen some stuff in the military that nobody in this room would want to see. He comes over to my house the next week. My friends are calling me up. I'm like, did you change your cadence? Are you eating differently? Like, what's the secret sauce? I'm like, he hasn't said a word to me. They're like, what? I'm like, no, he's sitting in the corner of the room, stroking his beard, staring at me, hysterically laughing. Like, he's freaking me out. My wife pulled me aside. She's like, Jesse, where did you meet Chad? I'm like, I met him on the internet. So that night we're at dinner. He says, Jesse, tomorrow we're going to start at 0500, man, but we're going to meet at 4:45 in the kitchen to go over the game plan. Man. So 4:45, the next day, we get in the kitchen. He says, Jesse, we're going to do something today. And if you do this, you're going to shatter your 38 miles. He said, we're never going to give our pain a voice. I said, what does that mean, Chad? He says, man, I know it's going to be hard tomorrow, man. I know we got to climb up and down this mountain 13 times, man. We're going to have blisters. We're going to be tired. We're going to be like, what are we doing out here? But we're never going to speak those words. Because if we speak those words, we give them power. He said, if I ask you how you feel tomorrow, your only answer is outstanding. How do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? So I did that, and I shattered my 38 miles. Fast forward 30 days later with the start of the Hennepin 100-mile race. We get Chad's running it with me. I get to mile 74, and I'm broken. I got 6 toenails floating around in my shoe. I have hypothermia. I'm freezing. The end is near, and Chad can sense it. I start walking. He walks with me. He turns to me and says, Jess, I'm going to tell you something about me, man, that nobody knows, man. It's a miracle, dude. I never get tired. Nah, not now, Chad. He says, no, man, I can't explain it either. I want you to say it, but I was so broken I couldn't say it. Not now. She said, no, man. Go ahead and say it. I said, fine, Chad. I never get tired. He says, no, man. Say it like you mean it. I'm like, fine, Chad. I never get tired. He said, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to let you walk a quarter mile to the aid station. When we get to the aid station, you tell them the miracle of Jesse and Chad. We hobble to the aid station. We get there. They give me some soup. They give Chad a little drink, electrolytes. I look at the nice volunteer. I look like I just got hit by a car. I said, ma'am, I'm Jesse. This is my good friend, Chad. I said, this is crazy, but Chad and I don't get tired. She's like, excuse me? I'm like, I know, Chad and I don't get tired. Chad grabs me by the shirt like this. He goes, let's go. Mile 75, how do you feel? I feel outstanding, Chad. 77, 79, 80, 83, 85, 87, 89. Akaquango, whatever it's called. Kilimanjaro, 90, 93. How do you feel? I feel outstanding, Chad. 97, I don't get tired, Chad. 99, 99.9, all the way to the finish line of a 100-mile race. The words that you speak matter. They matter.